It was only August of last year that for the first time, for all intents and purposes, it became legal for companies to use drones. Individuals could use drones and the government could use drones, but corporations were prohibited from using drone technology. Now that changed just in August of last year when the FAA came out with something called Part 107, which set about a bunch of rules of which companies could start utilizing drone technology. Now, the consumer industry for drones is a multi-billion-dollar industry. The government industry for drones is a multi-billion-dollar industry. And yet the commercial industry for drones has just started taking off, and PrecisionHawk is one of the leaders in that space. We provide drone hardware, software, and services to businesses. Our enterprise platform uses advanced drone technology to collect and analyze data to improve business intelligence. Now, the key markets that are using this, we're really one of the market leaders for agriculture using our technology, along with construction and insurance and energy and the non-government. All of these are industries that are really starting to utilize drone technology to figure out how to improve their business practices. Now let me just tell you a little bit about our platform and what it is that we actually do and how we work with companies to make them more effective at what they do. We have a platform that allows companies to deploy drones, whether it be fixed-wing drones or multi-rotor drones, to fly over pieces of land or construction that's taking places or infrastructure such as bridges or in the government. We attach advanced sensors to the bottom of those drones. That allows us to get a scanned reading of an area. And then we have software. This software knows how to automatically fly the drone, collect all of the data, and then run analytics so that the companies can get back relevant information to their businesses. So, for example, if you were a farmer, you could take our drone technology, fly it over a farm, and we'll tell you how many plants you have at your farm. Not only will we tell you how many plants you have at your farm, we'll tell you that there's a ladybug infestation in the corner, and that's the only place that you should deploy pesticide. And actually, another drone will actually fly just to that area, deploy the pesticide to take care of that infestation. With construction, we can actually map a building as it's being built in 3D, and then compare that to the architectural drawings from when the building was originally designed. In mining, we can actually tell the size of aggregates, big piles of the minerals and rocks automatically, so you can start keeping track of your inventory. There's many uses in utilities, whether it's identifying when there are down power lines in remote areas or blockages on railroad tracks. All of this can be done more effective and more efficient using drone technology. Now, soon you're going to start to notice more and more drones flying about in the air above you. I mean, I think we're only a few steps away from the Jetsons actually becoming reality. Besides providing drone technology solutions to companies, we also have a solution set for companies that want to start tracking large drone deployments, and we're actually working with multiple governments around the world, talking with them about implementing the air traffic control system for drones, if you will. And we're one of the leading companies that has developed technology that will allow governments to start tracking multiple commercial drones to make sure that that airspace is safe and it doesn't interfere with planes or other objects. And then lastly, we don't just sell a product and software, but we also have an array of services to make sure that the companies we work with are successful in deploying this type of technology. We have a flight services teams that will actually go on site and fly the drones for the companies to help them to collect the data, or we have a consulting services group that will work with companies to figure out how to integrate that data back into their business processes to figure out how to utilize it to improve their products that they're bringing to market. We have a couple of advantages that really make us stand out and actually make us one of the leaders in this space. We're the only commercial drone service company in the US that's allowed to fly beyond visual line of sight. So right now, if you're a company in the United States, you can start to use drone technology, but it has to be within the air space of where the pilot can see it. PrecisionHawk has a special waiver, and we're actually allowed to fly beyond that. So if you have a large tract of land or treacherous terrain and you need to fly a drone beyond the area, you have to work with us. We're the only company that can do that. If there was a Fortune 50 of clients that are utilizing drone technology across all these industries, we would count most of them as our clients. Whether it's agriculture clients like DuPont or Monsanto or John Deere, telecommunication companies like Verizon, energy companies like Shell or Chevron, technology companies such as Quantum or DuPont, they're all working with us in different ways to deploy drone technology. And lastly, in just a few years that we've been around, we've processed over 8,700,000 acres through our system and gathered intelligence on that and run analytics. And we're backed by some incredible investors, Intel Capital, USA Insurance, Verizon investors, Yamaha, Docomo, DuPont, Millennium. We all count as not only our investors, but people that are active partners of ours and clients of ours as well. You know, right now, you think back of just the cartoon of a few years ago with the Jetsons and all of the flying cars, and it may seem like we're almost at the verge of that technology with auto-driving cars right around the corner and Amazon delivering new technology, delivering things right to your doorstep with drones. Well, that is true. We are really just a few steps away from that technology being active, an active part of everyone's life. And right now, PrecisionHawk, while we're only a startup, we're the market leader in this space. And we truly believe this is a billion-dollar global opportunity that we're going after, and we're excited to be doing it and building that company in downtown Raleigh. So with that, let me go ahead and take your questions.
Nice job, man. Great job. I'm going to steal first question again. And that question is, how can this community help PrecisionHawk?
One word. Drones. Go buy some. We've actually been getting tremendous support from the community. We're working closely with a lot of the local colleges and universities, attracting top technical talent to the area. We look to partner with local companies to make sure that we're able to grow successfully in this area and have the support we need. So it's actually been a tremendous community. We're just happy to be a part of it.
Great. Good answer.
I have two questions. The first is, you have the beyond visual line of sight permitting. How did you get that, and how apt are you to either lose it or have others step in there?
So one of the both great but unusual things about PrecisionHawk is we have taken an active leadership position in working closely with the FAA and other regulatory bodies that are looking to identify and put in place the rules and regulations of utilizing drone technology. So, for example, I'm on the Drone Advisory Committee of the FAA. We are a contributor to the Pathfinder program, which actually studies the best way to fly beyond visual line of sight. So because we're so active in this policy making, we had the extra insight that was needed when we wanted to apply for the waiver that helped us get that waiver. We're not anticipating losing the waiver, and we think that other companies, as they become more up to speed on the regulations and the technology advances, will get it. But we certainly had an advantage early on because we spent a lot of time studying it and working with the policymakers to help best understand these regulations.
Okay. You offered several use cases, and I was wondering, are you having to, when you do marketing, do you go out and push these use cases to potential customers, or do you have customers coming to you and saying, here's our problem, can you help us?
You know, look, really, it's both. You know, one of the great things about this industry is that it just started a few months ago. So it's completely greenfield opportunity. When we're going out to clients, it's not like we're saying, hey, replace your existing drone system with our drone technology. We're often sitting down with them and saying, you know what, let me explain what drone technology can do, how you can utilize it in improving the yield from your farm, or improving the success of your construction projects, or better understanding you know, what is on your land, or how to improve the connectivity of your utilities. So these are all things that are critical to our clients, and we're showing them how this new technology can best be used in those use cases. In some cases, they've already been studying it, and they know to come to us as the market leader. But in others, we're sitting down with them and saying, we understand your problems. Let's talk about how our software and hardware can help address that.
Great questions.
So, Michael, you probably don't remember me, but 10, 15 years ago, I met with you in your office when you were at Blackboard.
Yes, I do remember that.
You were interested in buying one of my avatar-based virtual classrooms, and I remember thinking to myself, this guy is such a nice guy that if he's ever presenting to me, I'm going to be nice to him. And that may be the most important thing you learned tonight.
That's not what you said in the meeting, though. That's quite the opposite.
But I have lots of questions, like how do you get from higher ed to higher drones? But I'll ask this one. So precision ag tech seems to be an obvious choice for this business. But the problem with farms is they're spread out all over the place, and drones have a limited range. So it seems like there'd be a larger service component to this business than you would want. Why not start in metropolitan areas, counting parking lot spaces or something for retail?
So right now, both in the United States and globally, the industry that is spending the most money on drones in the U.S., number one, it's agriculture, and number two, it's construction. And I think that's for two reasons. One, the benefit to agriculture is so huge. So if you can improve the yield of a farm just 5 or 10%, that's millions of dollars. That's a large amount of food. That's making a significant difference right away in both the top and the bottom line. But look, we don't have to fly all over the United States for the farms. We sell drones and the software to the companies, and they deploy it with their people, though some certainly do hire us to also run the service ourselves. So as far as reach, I mean, we have clients not only throughout the United States, but around the world that are utilizing our technology, and I think it's a big industry in ag because the bottom line improvements are so great. The other problem is it's illegal to fly drones in many cities, and you can't fly over people yet. Now, there's actually different rules and regulations around the world. So when you hear about Amazon, for example, doing drone delivery, they're really doing that mostly in Australia, where the rules and regulations are a little bit more lax. And here in the United States, they're relaxing those rules, so people will start using more drone technology. But there's still a lot of things that you're prevented from doing. Flying over cities, dropping things on people's heads, those are all some of them.
Is it?
Texas, you can shoot them down.
Yeah. Actually, in Texas, the drones themselves can actually carry guns, so that's also legal. It's a little bit of a back and forth thing.
Is there anything we can do as citizens to help show our support for deregulating or adjusting the regulation?
Yes, I mean you can contribute to PrecisionHawk, and we will make sure that we are hiring the right people to be talking with the policymakers and helping them understand that this technology has now achieved a level of both safety and implementation that it can be successful in areas that they otherwise thought might be more risky, like flying in and around cities.
Okay.
Really interesting. I've got 1,000 questions, but
All right, well, we're going to limit you to 900.
All right.
Go ahead.
To me, I go to software because, data, utilizing drones, you're collecting a lot of data, but the data is only as good as the intelligence that results from the data. So you apply this layer of software, this layer of analytics to this, or the ability to derive the analytics and the information and the guidance from it. You write your own. What percentage of your clients come to you and say, hey, I just want the data. We have our in-house analytics capabilities. We just don't have a method to collect the data, versus clients that come to you and say, you know what, I need it all. I need not only the data that you're going to gather for me, but then you're going to give me analytics on top of that.
Right now, not only are the clients coming to us and saying they need the data and the analytics, but they're actually hiring us to then write even more custom analytics. Because if they do have the analytics capability, they were previously using maybe satellite images or photogrammetry from planes, and with drones you're getting much closer and therefore higher resolution. We're able to use some advanced sensors, so it's not just a picture or video. We have thermal and multispectral sensors and radar and LiDAR and a whole host of other advanced sensors that we can use and write analytics on top of. So right now our clients don't have the kind of the pre-canned analytics yet. So they're looking for us to both get the data, use our pre-canned analytics, but also hire us to write very specific analytics for the problems that they're encountering.
I'm going to break the rules, and since this is my last shot here, and just
Last
ask
chance to break the
quick
rules.
follow-up question. How big is your development? How many developers do you actually employ that write your analytics software?
We have probably about 75 people just in our software development group that work on.
And you've got to anticipate significant growth there.
Yeah, and we have a consulting services group as well. So again, we have a lot of pre-canned algorithms and software, but at the same time, we're working hand in hand with our clients to develop things that are specific for their implementations.